Hi, and welcome to the second part of I've Stepped in It Now, which chronicles the journey I am taking to establish a professional photography business. In the last episode, I explained how I wanted to start a professional photography business, and the reason is that I've been told and said that I do pretty good with taking pictures. So I went ahead and just tried to start this as a part-time business to generate some extra income, and I enjoy photography. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then why even do it? In this episode, I'm going to explain the process I went to establish the business officially. All right, the first decision I had to make is you probably want to do a name search, and this requires that you've actually created a name for your LLC, and you got to run a check on this to make sure nobody else has that particular name. John Woodring, don't think there are very many people that have LLCs with John Woodring in their name, and I have two. In South Carolina is John Woodring Researchers, and in Colorado is John Woodring Photography. I just went ahead and decided to do the LLC in the business that I'm actually creating. So I have to go through the additional paperwork of creating a doing business as. Once you've created that or done your name check and it clears, you're good to go. Then you want to get a website. And yes, I actually have had a website I used for teaching and doing some other things. And I showed off photography as well. But now it actually is going to be the website of my business. It's johnwoodring.com. And I recommend doing a website to where you can expand into e-commerce if you ever plan to want to sell things online. You don't have to right away. In fact, my website is not set up for e-commerce at this time, but I have the ability to do so when the need arises. Yeah, take a look. You get to see some of my photography. Then you can make a comment below if I'm actually got a chance at making a go of being a professional photographer or not. Also, while you're at it, if you like the video, click that like button. And if you want to see how this whole thing plays out, subscribe. So once you get your website, what kind of business is this? In photography, there's probably most photographers are going to be either a sole proprietorship or a limited liability company, or LLC. I decided to go with the LLC because of the various protections it gives if something should ever go wrong. There are also advantages to doing a sole proprietorship. So a sole proprietorship is where basically you just kind of hang out your shingle and say, hey, I'm in business, and you are the sole owner, operator of your business. Pretty much any profits or that your company makes, you pay them through your regular income taxes. Now, with a limited liability company, you're basically either a sole proprietorship or a partnership, but very limited in the number of people involved in your business. And the fact that because you have an LLC, you actually have certain protections as well if things go wrong. That is, basically anything anybody wants to go after is only what belongs to the LLC, the business. Your personal assets can't be touched. So I decided to go and get the LLC for my particular business, John Woodring Photography. So the first thing I had to do was establish the LLC. Now, there are certain things you can consider regarding that. For instance, where do you start or where do you form your LLC? You can actually form it in any state in the United States. A lot of people go to states such as Delaware, Wyoming, or New Mexico for tax reasons. They don't charge any taxes on any corporate profits as far as the LLC is concerned. Or you can do it in your home state or any other state. I actually have a LLC in South Carolina, John Woodring Researchers. Now I could have used that and basically created John Woodring Photography as a doing business as foreign entity in Colorado, which means the company actually would have been based in South Carolina but operating in Colorado. I decided against this, and the biggest reason is that when you have an LLC, you got to have two things in the state that your LLC is in. First off, you got to have a physical address in that state. Second, you got to have a registered agent in that state as well. Now, could have done this in Delaware, Wyoming, New Mexico, but they require the registered agent and the physical address in those particular states. The trick is that you gotta have those things. Well, I live in Colorado, so obviously I can't do it. But there are services that you can contract with to provide those services for you. The thing is, they run at probably at least $100 per year in order to have that service that really doesn't do much other than if you get served in a lawsuit, well, they have a place to serve the papers who passes it on to me here in Colorado. So I really thought that, starting out, maybe that might be a good thing to do. So I looked at Colorado. Next thing I had to decide, do I do the paperwork myself or do I hire a company to do this? Again, it depends on the state you're forming your LLC. Some could be more complicated, some less so. Colorado, it's not so hard. Pretty much what I did was go to the State Department of Colorado and on their website, go to the section where you form LLCs and other corporations, select LLC, fill out some forms online, answer some questions, and then pay a $50 fee, and you're done. That's it. You get your certificates and all by email. Not a bad price. There are others where the price is much higher. So do your research as to determining which state you want to go and create your LLC. Now, one thing to note, and this again depends on the state you're in. Does that state have any annual reports that you need to file? Colorado does, but it's a nominal fee, and I figured that was worth it again, so it was a much cheaper fee for me to do in the state as opposed to, say, doing it in South Carolina. There is no annual fee. I've got my LLC and it just kind of sits there. All right, so much covers it. Basically going from establishing or checking to see if your proposed business name or LLC name is available, figuring out whether to do a sole proprietorship or an LLC, deciding on the LLC route, so I had to do a name search, but you probably need to do that even if you do a sole proprietorship. Then setting up the LLC and the way I did it. If you have any comments or suggestions of what needs to be done, please put a comment in there. And if you like this video, please click that like button. Really helps this channel. If you really want to see how this whole thing ends, then subscribe. Thanks for watching.